What's going on, you guys? So I'm back again with another video. In this video we are going to or I'm going to actually show you how to install a catless downpipe on a Gen 2 B58. Gen 1 B58 is pretty similar. Shouldn't be anything too different, to be honest with you, between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2. We should pretty much show you guys how to do an install on that. Behind me I have all the tools you need in order to do the catless downpipe install. This is actually going to be I believe it's a true 4.5 inch, so it doesn't have the bracket. So I'll show you guys how to install it, because sometimes without having the bracket it could be a little tricky getting it in there. But you see what I mean whenever we get to that video. I'm also going to be doing a bench unlock on his car as well too, and then tuning the BM3 license and a OTS stage 2 on it as well, and kind of go from there. So I'll show you guys the entire process in this video: the catless downpipe install, how to flash your ECU with BM3 or DME, same thing. And then yeah, I'll take you guys through everything. Kind of have everything laid out behind me, like I said, for the tools. I'm gonna wait for him to pull up a little bit later today. I'm gonna move my M340 out of the garage, make some room for him. And yeah, so let me start off by getting that out of the way, and then I'll show you guys me cold start, drive the car off and whatnot, and then I'll probably pick back up whenever he actually pulls up, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So before you, kind of get started on your install, you're obviously going to need tools. So this is going to be everything you essentially need to get your catless downpipe on and off. Oh, one more thing, I forgot. Where is it at? It should be somewhere in there. Oh, there it is. You're actually going to need this as well too. Actually, I forgot to mention that. But anyways, getting back to it. So this is everything that you're going to need in order to get your catless downpipe off and on, or to do your catless downpipe install. I'm sorry. A pick tool, you're gonna use this you'll see in the video or later, you're gonna need a pick tool, some extension. This is to kind of help with some clearances that if you need it. This is very optional. For sure, you need a 13, a long one and a short one, ratchet, and an electric ratchet. This is optional. You can do it without one, but if you have one, this will actually speed up the process by a lot. And then you need an O2 center socket, and that should be everything that you need. And then yeah, so let me wait till my guy with the Supra comes, and I'm gonna pretty much make use of everything that you see on the screen here as far as tool wise goes, and that way you know how to kind of get started on your catless downpipe install. Very quick, very simple, not too difficult. And then yeah, so I'll bring you guys along the whole way, and then we'll go from there. All right, so homie had pulled up, or his brother pulled up and dropped off his Supra. So I'm gonna get started on pretty much tearing this car apart. Downpipe is still super hot right now, so I might just do some of the stuff around it for the time being and let it cool off. So here is the car currently. It's a red A90 next to our Supra, the blue one. And then I actually have a white one that's out there in the garage. Actually, I'll just show you guys. We got my car out there along with my buddy Peter's A90 as well too. So got 3 A90 Supras at my house, which is insane because I wouldn't probably never imagined me having that many B58s at my house. So shout out to everybody that has I take that back. Probably shouldn't have said that. Everybody has been super supportive, so thank you everybody for being so supportive with this side hustle that I've been doing, Boosted Race Lab, and I really appreciate everything that you guys have done for me, just sharing and just being positive with everything that I've been doing as far as how my installs and all my videos, just positive feedback in general. It's greatly appreciated. But I just want to get straight into it, so let me start off by showing you guys one of the first things that you want to do for your catless downpipe install is to bolt the battery. I don't know why I hesitated saying that. Unbolt the battery. So let me grab my 10 mil. I know I didn't add that to that list of things that I had here earlier, but you need a 10 mil as well too. So let me grab that real quick, and then let me show you guys where to unbolt your battery. We're here in the back of the trunk, and as if most of you guys probably would know by now, that your battery is underneath the trunk here. Easiest way to lift it, in my opinion, is that sometimes it doesn't sit flush in the back corner here. So I normally just lift it and kind of just run my hand across, and then just kind of push it upwards towards where the stock subwoofers are at. And then bam, you have access to your battery terminal. So pretty sure everybody knows, negative terminal. Make sure you loosen that up. That's pretty loose. And you should be able to just, there you go, put that aside. That shouldn't go anywhere. So once that's unplugged, you want to head up to the front of the car here. Let me put this 10 mil up, and I'll grab my little pick tool here, which is what you need. A little small flathead screwdriver will work as well too. Something kind of small will work. You'll see why in a second here. So let's move this engine cover out the way. Homie drove pretty much an hour. His brother drove an hour here to get his car worked on. So shout out to homeboy over here for bringing his car over for me to work on. Ooh, God, excuse me. Okay, so, all right. I actually strapped the light to my head, so it's easier to kind of see everything. But if I can get you guys in there, let me see here. Ooh, it's like a weird angle. There's a little notch, so that should work. There's a little notch here that you can kind of push to the side. Not exactly sure if you can see that, but you push that notch, and you actually push the connector towards the engine, and it should slide right off like that. Bam. Same thing with this side, same exact thing. You want to find that little notch. You hear that click? You see how it's moving on itself? There you go. Same exact thing. Push it forward towards the motor. O2 sensors are off the connector. Bam. So from this point, what I would do is right now I'd wait till the downpipe's cool. We can unplug this right now if we wanted, just so that way we can free it. But since the catless downpipe is still pretty hot right now, we want to leave it alone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually throw a fan on this, and I'm gonna run inside, chill for a second, and then I'll be back once this downpipe cools off a little bit. We're gonna then kind of like take it off these little mounts here that are holding the O2 sensors in, and undisconnect it as well too. Then kind of feed it down to the bottom, so that way once the catless downpipe is off, you can just drop everything with it. Cool. Oh, you know what? From what it looks like somebody had a catless downpipe on this car before. And the reason why I say that is because, if we'll focus here, that V-band clamp bolt is not supposed to be facing that way. So that's a good indicator for those who are looking for a A90 Supra that's a 2-port or even a 6-port. If that that bolt is facing upwards like that, chances are somebody had a catless downpipe on this car previously. So keep that in mind. Typically stock will be kind of flush. You won't even see that bolt. So, but okay, so let this car cool off, and then I'll get started on lifting the car up and start taking everything off the car. So let's go with that. All right, so I actually lifted the car up already. I figured maybe this is probably your first time with a B58 or a BMW essentially. I'm gonna show you guys some of the jacking points that I use. That helps me out a lot. Granted, I do have ramps. These are like low profile ramps that I got from Amazon that pretty much fits on a lot of the low cars that I've worked on. My car is on H&R Low Springs on the M340i, and it fits under there perfectly. Has maybe about ½ an inch of clearance, but if you can get ramps, that'd be perfect. If you don't have ramps, this method should still work if your car is high enough. But let me get underneath here and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here. All right. So if this is your first time with the BMW, we don't really have a pinch weld that we put our jack stands or jack on. We have these like plastic pucks. This is not me. This is not because of me, but we have these plastic pucks that are pretty much where our pinch weld will be at. So what I'll do is I'll drive all the cars up this low profile ramp that I have, which I'll link in the description for you guys as well too if you guys want to grab it. It's really helpful. You'll grab this, you drive up on top of it, and I'll stick the jack pretty much right in the center, in the middle of the car. And there is on the Supras you'll have a metal one, but there's like you'll see like an indent right here that you'll stick your jack right in the middle of this, and you'll lift it up, and that will lift up the car from the front, and it should, not should, but it'll work pretty much perfectly from that point. And then you can just put your jack stands on those plastic pucks right there, and should be good to go. It should have all the clearance. So now that we're under here, sorry, I pressed the record button like an idiot, but there is I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 13mm bolts. You have one here. This person particularly has a RK, not RK, it's a I believe it's a Megan Racing. It looks like a Megan Racing exhaust, but it doesn't matter. Any catback will work. So you have one 13mm here. You have another one right here, and I have to grab a light, but yeah, you won't be able to see it. Let me grab a light real quick for you guys. I can't tell because the light's glaring. Oh, he's missing one. Okay, but if it will focus, there are 2 13mm bolts there. His is missing one, so this make the install a little easier, but there's 2 there that you have to loosen up, and then the last one that you have is a 13mm for the V-band for the actual downpipe itself. More than likely I'll just time lapse this entire install, since I showed you guys exactly what all to take off, and then I'll show you guys how everything looks once it's off the car. So I got pretty much all the bolts off. The only one that I haven't touched is the V-band up top. So just to kind of go over it one more time without trying to make this as difficult, or it's not difficult, but there is a 13mm here that I was able to break loose. My gimbal is being dumb. So there's a 13mm here that you break off. This one, since it was a Megan Racing, it was actually a 16mm, but stock will be a 13. And then the 2 bolts up top, that's the mounting bracket. And then yeah, so once I get that 13mm off of the V-band, this downpipe should come right off. And then yeah, so I will get to that in a second. So right now I'm up top and I have the extension pretty much right on top of the 13mm bolt that's holding the V-band in right there. So I'm gonna go up top and then I'm gonna pretty much shoot that loose. And then I'm gonna pretty much do another time lapse from the bottom of me pulling the downpipe off. And if I sound weird, it's because I'm trying really hard not to. Oh, there it goes. I just dropped my mic. I was trying really hard not to drop my mic and hold the light. Okay, I could have gone with this setup to begin with. There you go. So yeah, just to show you guys a little bit clearer picture, 13mm connect to it, and yeah, just gonna shoot that loose. And then I'm gonna time lapse y'all to make it easier on myself. But yeah, so I'm gonna put you guys down and then we're gonna go from there. All right, as you can tell from the time lapse, I was able to get the stock catless or stock downpipe off. I was about to say catless. It is cats. It has cats. If it would stop focusing on me, it does have cats. So got that off. So we're gonna, right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the O2 sensors and then transfer them over to the new one. And once we do that, we can start, the new one, the catless downpipe actually has a O-ring already. So don't forget to, whenever you're doing an install on these, that you will need a new O-ring right here. You can pry this out, but be very gentle and careful to not mess it up so much so it doesn't mess up the seal. You're gonna pretty much reuse this old clamp as well too. You can buy a new one, but typically the clamps are fine to reuse again. O-rings are fine too as long as they're not damaged. This one's a good example. It's pretty clean all around. But yeah, so let me kind of set everything up real quick, and then I'll transfer over the O2 sensors real quick for you. I know that I remember that I had told you guys that that's kind of all the tools you need, but you also need a kind of like a breaker bar, something that's really long for leverage to break loose the O2 sensors. This O2 socket I actually got on Amazon as well too. It just slides right in, and you just kind of break it loose and then loosen it off with your hand. Let me see if I can find a way to prop up my camera so that you guys can see me take off the O2 sensor, but let me get back to you guys on that. Okay, so it might be a little hard for you guys to see, especially since the light, but hopefully you can still hear me pretty well. But the black O2 sensor, the one that's it's gonna have like the black wire. There's a black and a gray one, black one being your primary, gray one being your secondary. You want to just make sure that it's on the installed on the other one, on the right one, so like, you know, the top with the top and the bottom with the bottom. So having this breaker bar helps out a lot. That was actually pretty loose, but okay. And then secondary here, this one was also pretty fucking loose. Okay, excuse my language, but loosen it up. Fine. Make sure you don't cross thread them as well too whenever you're putting them in. Just slowly hand thread them in until the very end. Sorry if it's a little dark. I want to do it on the grass so I don't scratch up the downpipe itself. But yeah, make sure you're slowly hand threading these in so that way you don't cross thread anything. That'd be a very big problem if you do that. So same thing, just put them on. Something bit me. Just make sure it's tight. Same thing on this one. Make sure that this one is tight as well. Let me stand on this actually to make sure that it is tight. Don't want this to be loose to have an exhaust leak. Okay, yeah, that is tight. And that other one should be tight as well too. Always triple check your work, guys, just to make sure. Yeah, that's tight. Cool. So now that we've transferred over the O2 sensors, we can start trying to mount it back up inside. Now that you're here, you kind of want to mock everything up a little bit as well too. I just had to do it. You versus the guy she told you not to worry about. Oh wait, no, it's the other way around. You versus the guy she told you not to worry about. Anyways, you want to kind of mock everything up. Throw this clamp on. There is a bolt. Let me grab that bolt real quick for y'all. So you want to grab this bolt right here. This one, this nut likes to disappear whenever you loosen the V-band itself. So make sure that you don't lose this V-band or this nut. Okay, so you want to look and see which side the nut's supposed to go on. I believe it doesn't matter. So you want to stick it through like this, and then stick the nut through it. If it will let me. Jeez, I'm terrible with my camera right now, but stick it through just a couple of threads. I like to do it until this thread kind of shows up a little bit like that, and then stick it on the downpipe itself. Okay, hopefully it stays focused. So you're gonna want to pretty much bring your catless downpipe up and just slowly guide it in there. Make sure it doesn't get snagged on anything. Just okay. I might have to move a little lot of this stuff out of the way. Hold on, I gotta take this light off me. Might be a little dark for you guys, I'm sorry. I apologize if it is. So what I'm gonna do here, cool. I'm actually going to try to line up the downpipe first to make sure that it sits flush on the turbo and the downpipe itself. Trying to get a good angle here. All the wiring in the way. So pretty much got that bolt hand tightened. What I usually do at this point is I run my hand around the V-band just to make sure that it's sitting flush in between the turbo and the actual downpipe itself. This is a pretty big boy, not gonna lie, but pretty much I'm gonna torque that down in a second. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna make sure that the rest of the exhaust is sitting properly, if it will let me zoom in and whatnot. So this is all this is all lined up. Gonna tighten this. Make sure that this is all lined up as well too, this section here. So I'm gonna probably tighten this first and then tighten the hanger, and then I'll go up and then I'll actually tighten the V-band. So I probably won't be able to do a video clip tonight, the cold start on this car, because I am actually going to be bench unlocking it as well too. So more than likely you guys will hear me start it up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And well, not tuned because it's going to be in this video, but I will start this car up later in this video. But let me finish up bolting everything up and then I'll show you guys the final product. All right, so one of the things I also need to do to this car is actually take the DME out of the car to bench unlock it. So for those who are maybe like femtoing your car, let me show you how to take the DME out of the vehicle or out of the engine bay. Let me flip this around, give you guys a kind of a good angle here maybe. So this is a cover that actually covers your DME. You just lift it up. It's just held in by 3 pop clips or whatever you want to call them. And in order to remove your DME, you want to just start pretty much disconnecting everything almost. There's little pins here. You can kind of see them. Let me zoom in, maybe they'll help out a little bit. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, these little pins right here. It's not little pins, it's like you have to like push down on it and then pull this lever forward like that. Also, I forgot to mention, if you are doing this, please unplug your battery. If not, then the car will still technically work once you plug everything back in, but you will have a check engine light, and if you have no way of clearing it, it's gonna probably drive you insane. So please make sure that you unplug your battery. And yeah, so we can get back into this. So let me bring this down. They're kind of like color oriented as well too. This one doesn't have any color to it, it's just black. That can go to the side. And then this one has like a little gray tape to it. That's number 2. So same thing, push that down, lift it forward. You can lift it, put it aside. And then this one, I believe, has a color to it as well too. It may have fallen off. Same thing, pinch, push it forward, lift it up and out of the way. And same with this one. You hear that audible click, push it out of the way. Same with this, you can lift it, pull it out of the way. And then last one as well too. Pull it out of the way. Perfect. So once you're there, hopefully I can do this one-handed, or actually, let me see if I can put you guys here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that looks like that works. So once you're here, I don't know how bad of an angle that is. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. Sorry, apologies for sliding you guys around, but it's gonna be held on by 2 tabs, which is a little hard to see, but see how that moves. There's one there. There's one on this side as well too. So I'm gonna have to put the camera down, but you're gonna want to pretty much pull both of those back at the same time and then pull up on the DME. So let me, hopefully this will kind of demonstrate what you're trying to do here. 2 fingers, I'm wiggling back and forth, and then just pull up on the DME. There you go. Make sure there's nothing getting caught. Continue to pull up on it until it comes out like that. Bam, that is your DME. Now, for all those who are curious on, you know, what year you can get your car tuned, there's been a lot of like, oh, like, you know, 2020 and there may be some 2021s. What you're looking for is, let me show you here. I don't know how sensitive everything else is on here, but let me try to cover it with my finger. There you go. So what you're looking for is that date right there. If it was that date, 1909-20. So this DME specifically was made in 2019 on September the 20th. So if you have a 2021 Supra, you may have a chance of being able to get your DME unlocked, depending on what year this ECU was made. There was one car that I worked with that actually got really lucky, and his was pre-June of 2021 or a 2020 DME. So that's the best way to check if you don't have like an MHD or BM3 or just anything to be able to tell you directly. Sometimes the sticker on the door will say that it's a 21 model, but the DME was made later. So this will 100% tell you whether if your DME is going to be bench unlocked or femtowed. V-band on the downpipe is tight. You're not reusing the 2 hanger bolts, so you can hold on to that. If you are using like a VRSF, you may reuse them. Depending on which catless downpipe, you may or may not use those bolts again. And then I believe, the 13 mil for the hanger, and then the clamp for itself. All of it is all torqued down and all ready to go. So just really got to connect the O2 sensors back up top here. Reconnect these O2 sensors right here, and then clip them back on. In order to clip them, let me show you real quick. You just slide them. Well, I have to grab the bottom one, but you just slide them backwards. So that's to take it off. This is to put it in. So other than that, pretty much close to being done with this car. So I'm going to finish up and bench unlock and finish everything up, and then tomorrow I will do a startup video for you guys and show you guys how to flash and unlock your DME via BM3. MHD is pretty much the same way, and then kind of just keep rolling from there. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Yo, so it is the next day. So I'm a mess. I don't know where I left my mic and my fisheye lens for the camera. I don't know where it went. I will have to figure that out later, but yes, so today we're gonna finish off this Supra. We're going to pretty much flash BM3 on it, and pretty much run you guys through that step. That way you guys can see what all you need to do to flash your car. So right now what I'm doing is that in the beginning, if you had, I'm pretty sure you watched the entire thing, but in the beginning we unplugged the battery, so making sure all the sensors are plugged in, which the O2 sensors are plugged in, along with everything else that we had unplugged. So tighten the battery, put everything where it belongs. I'm personally using my own MHD for this because I'm just more comfortable using it. but as long as you have an adapter, you should be able to tune your car. So you're gonna sit in your car here, and you are going to plug your OBD2 reader in here, which is an extension. There you are. So mine should start flashing. There it is. Make sure you have the key in the car. Close the door. Put your seatbelt on. That is to prevent the car from falling asleep. All right, so we're back. So right now what's going on is we have the BM3 app open at the moment. What I'm going to do now is make sure that we have a good secure network onto the car, which I believe we already are connected. Nope, we are not. I'm actually on my Wi-Fi. So you want to connect to your MHD, or what I'm using as my MHD, which then it will automatically turn the car, puts it in diag mode. You can technically already put it in diag first, so just follow through here. You want to register the vehicle. Okay, that's correct. Cool. Also, while it's in diag mode as well too, you want to make sure you turn off your lights and turn off your AC. That's going to prevent the car from running out of battery while you are flashing the car. So let me get to that part real quick, and then I will jump back in. Cool, so now that we're back, we have the VIN registered with the activation key, and what we're going to do now is I had downloaded the OTS map for this car. It's going to be the stage 2 on 93 octane, and then I'm going to skip to the part where I actually flash the car. There's a lot of configuration that you can do here on your own. It's just personal preference as far as like burbles, it's like a GTS startup roar, and a couple of other things as well too. So you can kind of use that to your own to experiment and kind of see how you like it. But I'm just going to do my own custom settings on this vehicle right now, so that way whenever he picks it up, it's just going to be to my settings, and if he wants to change it later, he can. So let me just skip to the part where we actually flash the car for you guys, or for him. Alright, so once you validate your license and you downloaded your stock tune and your OTS map that you have here, you're going to go into it and tap on the bottom. And like I said, ensure everything that I had told you is done. Lights, AC, and seatbelt locked. Make sure your phone is connected to the adapter itself and Bluetooth is off. So you're going to click flash, and then you're going to flash the car. DME software requires an unlock before tuning. Okay, yes. Ignore the warning. Flash. This car is benched unlocked, so it's just giving you a warning that if it doesn't work, then it won't work essentially. So, but the car is bench unlocked, so this should work. You can tell right there that it is working. So let me just do a quick time lapse real quick of this, or let me just speed up this process, and then I'll see you guys once the car is actually done getting tuned. I started the time lapse a little too far in, but once everything is done, it's gonna give you this sign. I'm gonna click done. What I typically like to do is I'd actually like to turn off the car, and then once that's done, I have to open my garage actually. So let me open my garage. Personally, for me, I have a lot of cars that come in and out of my neighborhood, and I want to be, decently respectful to my neighbors. So let me set you guys up real quick, and then let me get the first start with this car on a catless downpipe. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the install video on how to do a catless downpipe on your Gen 2 B58 along with your Gen 1, flashing it as well too, which is exactly the same on both the Gen 1 and the Gen 2. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. If I missed something, please let me know as well too. I'm still trying to get used to doing all this filming and taking pictures and explaining things as I go. But this is currently my customer's car that I just finished. He's gonna come pick it up later tonight. I wish I can get some videos of me driving by, but I don't really have a way to do that without maybe possibly losing my camera. in the process of all this, I don't know where my fisheye lens is for this camera along with my mic. So I'm gonna have to look for that whenever I get back home. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. And like I said before, just let me know if there's anything you guys have any questions on. If I did miss anything, please let me know. But other than that, I don't want to keep this video to be super long. I think this is a pretty lengthy one anyways to begin with. But I hope you guys have a great day. I just finished this car on Valentine's Day, so hopefully the wife's not too mad at me. But anyways, you guys have a great day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.